I think that new business is a really exciting place to be. It's not always an easy place to be, particularly if for professionals. Somebody in a professional service firm put it to me the other day is that it's actually, if you're a consultant, if you're used to being an advisor, one, you're used to telling, and two, you expect to be taken seriously. Whereas the new business person has to listen and ask more and has to accept rejection more. So I think it's particularly difficult for professionals to do new business. And there's a sense of, I shouldn't need to be doing this. So I think we need to think very hard about how we do new business. And I think that there are things that we can get right. First of all, make it as unrandom as possible. My own experience on this was the huge power of referral selling. So if I was trying to grow a business, the place I'd always start would be referrals. How much easier it is to talk to somebody who has already been warmed up, somebody who says, I think that this person is fantastic and that you should speak to them. So that needs managing, and there's lots of stuff, we can't talk about it here in detail, but referral selling, I think, is usually the starting point for new business. It's the easiest place to go for most professionals. I think we need to think about our process well. Broadly, you've got 3 steps, haven't you? You've got, how do I get somebody interested in what I've got to say? And over recent months, that's typically been webinars. It obviously could be conferences, it could be mail shots, it could be e-shots. So we're creating an interest. So ask yourself, how am I creating an interest in what I do? The second thing is turning interest into opportunity. And quite a lot of people find this quite challenging. So I've developed a dialogue with a potential client. I said, oh, I found that really interesting. That was really useful. But then turning that into an opportunity takes a little bit of thought. And we need to plan, without getting over salesy, how I'm going to help you say, well, you're interested in this. I think you'd find it useful for us to meet and talk about this specific idea. And then you've got to turn that opportunity into an engagement, which is classic selling. It's where we qualify, where we propose, where we negotiate, where we engage. So think about your new business in terms of, how can I generate interest? How can I turn an interest into an opportunity? And how can I turn that opportunity into an engagement? Do think about using referrals. Do target well, and do use technology.
I think new business from an insurance broker's perspective can be quite difficult in what's coming in the next few years in terms of economic downfall, and needs to be there in your business. You need to have your strategy, your plan in place. And I think what you've just said is a really good way of looking at it: interest, opportunity, engagement. I think there's a tendency sometimes, because it's new and exciting and, oh, you know, I love the new business, to maybe not put as much stock into renewals. And renewals really are the cornerstone of your business, because it is significantly less time heavy, resource heavy and costly to renew than it is to bring in new business. So do you have a similar kind of way of thinking about growing and through renewal?
Yeah, I think growing and retaining is critical. I think your point about new is often the glamorous bit. Somebody put it to me about their firm. If I win a new client, my boss takes me out to lunch, ring a bell, everyone stands and applauds, and it's rah, rah, rah. When I win 5 times the amount of business from an existing client, everyone just shrugs their shoulders and says, well, that's what you're paid to do. So I think there's ridiculous glamour attached to new, whereas in fact, there's usually far more business won in grow and retain. It's much easier. Views vary, and I've heard people say 5 times, 7 times. I would say 9 times easier to win a piece of business from an existing client than to go out and win a new bit of business. It's significantly easier. It's significantly more comfortable for most professionals. We're talking to people who know us and trust us already, rather than having to go through that unfortunate early stage contact. So I think the things I'd say are, one, sell actively and continuously into your existing relationships. Doing a piece of work at the moment in a completely different sector, where the business has recognized that they've fallen victim to a classic dilemma, that as relationship managers and account managers or client managers, what we want is stability. We don't want to rock the boat. So I don't want to come and talk to you about something new because you might not like what I say. Heaven forfend, am I going to bring somebody else in to talk about another product or another solution or another discipline? Because they might upset you and rock the boat with my nice stable relationship. So I'm going to say nothing to you because silence means the relationship's okay, doesn't it? And I'll wait until 5 minutes to midnight before the renewal and say, oh, we got to renew now, and I won't give you time to renew. So we need to be much more proactive, and we need to talk about renewals much earlier. So I like the idea of almost as soon as, in fact, I was talking to a broker the other day, large firm, and they said that they're encouraging their client managers to start talking about business issues and potential future cooperation in the month after renewal, not in the month before the next renewal. So talk early, talk wider, not just transactionally, and talk actively. A banking client of mine, we did a client review with them, and the one thing they said they wanted more from us, they said, you don't sell to us enough. And I thought I was being a nice relationship manager. And what this guy said was, look, you know us better than anyone who's coming to sell to us because you're in and out of our offices week in, week out, month in, month out. If you don't know what we need, nobody knows what we need. So come to me with new ideas. I won't accept all your new ideas, but I do expect you to come to me with new ideas. So I think we need to be much more proactive in the way that we sell. And when it comes to cross-selling, the first question I ask is not how can I cross-sell, but it's why should you cross-buy? And there's some compelling reasons why your clients should buy more from you. You just be more customer-centric. So proactive selling and manage your renewals earlier and focus on the right ones.
Absolutely. One of the things we do with a number of clients is help to review existing renewal processes and then to develop an actual written renewals procedure with step-by-step guide and a load of tools that are associated with it, through to embedding those processes. And that's a process in that the whole thing's a process in itself to get the mind shift into the new way of doing things, which covers off everything you've said.